Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me, and today we're going to make a picture frame. Now, I had put this off a couple of times because I had to remember exactly how I made the last one, but I think I've got it this morning. This is for Macon Pettijohn, and she said, "You're wonderful, Miss E. I would love to see how to make a picture frame out of cardstock. I have looked and looked, but I can't seem to find a tutorial that is easy. I so hope you all stay healthy, and thank you so much for helping us stay sane." I do live in the country with my dogs and chickens, and they so help me forget the turmoil around. Can't wait to see all the projects. Evidently, I'm having problems reading this morning, but this one, I think, let's see. I'm going to put this one down as number 10. It may be different, but I'm just going to put a number out there so I'll know that I've done this one. So, Macon, this is for you. Now, I kind of flipped through, and I didn't really see anybody else that wanted a picture frame. But if you was wanting one from cardstock, then this is for you as well. I'll try to double check before I post this up and make sure your name is included if there was anybody else. This is how I make my picture frames. Now, I've made a couple of these, and I still use them. I have some sitting over there on my shelf. Has my baby's pictures in here. Of course, I decorate mine up after I make them. But on this video, all I'm going to do is just make the picture frame, and then you can decorate any way you want. What I did is I went around and put a few little flowers right here and leaves and things like that, depending on what your picture shows. You know, if your picture shows flowers, you might do that. If it shows dogs, cats, the animals, you might put those down there. Just any way that you want to, or you can just leave it plain like this. Now, this is really simple. You can just write the measurements down on this. This is a very simple, easy picture frame. There are a lot more difficult ones out there, but I just choose this one because to me it's the easiest that comes together. So I take a piece of cardstock that is 12 by 12, and when you finish with this, you will have a picture frame that is 7 by 7. Depending on what size frame you want, you can adjust your sizes. We're going to score, our last score is going to be at 2 inch on both ends. So that in between is going to give you the size of your picture frame. So, you know, just adjust it down or up. Of course, you can't go up unless you've got larger paper, but just adjust it as you want. We're going to start off scoring at 1/2 inch. And 1 inch, 1 1/2, and 2. Now we're going to turn it, one turn. We're going to do the same thing on all 4 sides. 1/2, 1, 1 1/2, and 2. And I'm using just this cardstock, so hopefully you can see better. You could also use pattern paper and make one out of pattern paper. That'd be pretty. So just score every 1/2 inch all the way up to 2. Then you're going to go to the last side. Just make sure that you've got your paper pushed all the way up and that you're scoring as straight as possible. That's going to mean the difference in how your frame goes together. 2. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to come right here to 2 1/2, and you're just going to score down to that score line right there that goes this way. So at 2 1/2, we're just going to score right down to that last score line. So 2 1/2, just down to there. And you're going to do that on this end as well. You're going to score at 9 1/2 down to right there. So I've got, let's see if I can hold it up and you can see it. I've got at 2 1/2 right here, and then I've got it 9 1/2 right here, just down to this score line that goes across. Then you're going to flip it all the way around to the opposite end. So this is where we scored those here. So we're going to score on this same end down here, straight across from each other. At 2 1/2, just down to that last score line, and at 9 1/2, just down to that last score line. So let's see, there you go. You can see that one there, and then one right here. Don't do that on these sides. Leave those like they are. Okay, let's go ahead and fold and burnish. Your folding and burnishing on this is very important. Make sure when you fold that both ends of your paper are even. You need to make sure that your folding and burnishing is straight. The straighter everything is, the better your picture frame looks and the better it comes together. So go around and do your folding on all 4 sides. Okay, we've got all 4 sides folded and burnished. And I apologize again if you hear the lawnmower outside. My husband is out there cutting grass. He gets so excited when it's sunshine and he can get outside. All right, now on these corners, these squares, all of these squares up to that score line, so this down through here and this across here, you're going to cut all this right here away. You're not going to cut here on that one, just these for right now. Now I'm going to use my long scissors. It's very important to get this straight. So go just as straight down that score line as you can. Straight as possible. Okay, so that's what we're cutting away. We've still got that little half score line right there. You're going to do this on all 4 corners. Okay, now you have something that looks like that. Now you're going to take your ruler and your pencil and where you did these extra partial score lines right here, what you're going to do is on this little square right here, there's one square here, there, there, and there. There's 4 little squares. So on the second one, not the first one, but the second one from the inside of your box here, what you're going to do is go from one point to the other. Make that straight as you can. So see here, I'm going to go ahead and just draw this so that you can see it. There's one of our boxes there. Here's another box up here. And then here's another box up here. So we're doing that in the second score line. You're going to come in like that to that point. And then up here at the very top, you're going to go from that, where those score lines meet, out to the edge. So let's see if you can see that. Just like that. So we're leaving this one intact. We're making a line here. We're making a line here. Now, this part right here is going to be cut away. So what you're going to do is cut a very straight line, if you can. And then you're going to go straight down on that second little box and then out on that box. That's how you're going to cut that right there. See that? All we cut away is this little piece. And we're leaving these others intact. I'm going to erase that. I don't think it'll show, but I'm just going to erase it. Okay. Now we're going to do that on this side and then these two. Wherever you have that little partial score line is where you're going to do that. All right. So again, come to the second little box. Start at the outer edge. Coming in. And then on this first box up here at the top, I start at the inner edge and I come out. And if you need help with this, we'll just draw another little line right there, and then I'll show you that that's kind of a little box that we're cutting away. There we go. Just like that. So we got 2 of them cut. Now we're going to flip it around to this end and we're going to do the same thing. Now, I took my time with those and made sure that I got them just as straight as I could. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I got my pencil marks erased. Like I said, I don't think these will show, but I just want to get them erased off of there just in case. All right. So this is all of the scoring and all the cutting that you're going to do. Now it's just a matter of putting this together. Now I'm going to start on this end right here. Doesn't matter where you start, but it's easier for me if I start on the ones that I cut on. And you're going to put glue on the outer side of this first little part right here. So the outer side, not the inside, but the outside. On the point and all the way down. And then you're going to fold that under. And you're going to lay the edge of this right at the edge of that score line out there and glue it down. The best way I see to do this is I fold that first one down and then I lay this down on there, and it folds right up to that score line. I'll show you in just a second. So see, there's my first score line right there. I just laid this one down back this way, and then when I folded that, it folded and glued right at that score line right there. At that score line on the bottom of your little box there. Then when you open that little box back up, then you have that little frame starting right there. See? There you go. So I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to do this side. Remember, put your glue on the outside all the way down. And then I fold this first little score line down out to the outside like this. Then I press this under, making sure that it comes up to that score line. And then I press it down. Like that. So you see, we've got it. I'll show you before I open it up. It's pressed down. The little tips come right to that score line right there. And then you just open it back up. So there are two sides of our frame. And then on this one, I like to fold it in just to make sure that it's going to fit in there nicely. So just kind of fold it up and look at it. What you're going to do is you're going to tuck these corners in just like that. Just like that. So see, this corner is going to be tucked in. And you're going to have your little mitered corners right there. Now the same thing that we did on these, we're going to put glue right down through here. Okay, now when you fold these down, I want you to fold it inside these sides right here. You'll have to work it just a little bit, but it goes in there. You just have to kind of maneuver it, just like that. Then you can press that bottom down and glue it down. See, what we're doing is we're pressing that down, just like we did on the sides, and we're gluing that down. Just like that. Then when you open this up, it's going to automatically be inside your little pieces here that we cut. Okay, and we're going to glue those in a minute, but right now we're going to go down to this end and we're going to do the same thing. Run that glue all the way down to the edge. Then you're going to fold that first one back, and I'm kind of making sure that this is on the inside, not up here at the top, but just on the inside of that little piece right there. I'm just using a towel because I'm getting glue all over my hands and it doesn't look pretty on this light colored cardstock. Now when I get that down there, I press it down really well because that makes it stick, and it makes it a lot easier when we start lifting this up to put it in place. So see, there's our other end. Now all you have to do is take just a tiny bit of glue. All right, we're going to tuck a tiny bit of glue right up under there. If some of it comes out, this is my art glitter glue. I'm not going to worry about it. So I can just wipe it off. And then I'm going to hold that a second for it to dry. Now you could use a glue dot on this. That would be good. I've seen people make these and just use a glue dot at the corners if you want to do that. Because it's kind of hard to press down on that because you don't have anything under it that's hard enough to catch it. Okay, maybe that one's caught. We may have to come back and work on it a little bit more. I'm going to squirt some glue right up under there. Just wipe your excess glue off. Wipe it away. And then just hold those sides together as close as you can get them until that dries. There we go. There's two ends. And you're going to do the same thing down here. I'd rather put a little bit extra glue, it's not enough, and have it pop apart. You can always wipe that glue off. Alright, there's your picture frame. It is a 1/2 inch deep, so you could put, your photos, whatever you wanted to in here. You can make a little collage in here. This could be a little photo box. You could also go back and cover like if you put some things in here that you wanted to hang on your wall, memorabilia and different kinds of things, you could put those in, glue them in place, and then you can go back and put a sheet of acetate on the top and put it on your wall, and this would be a very cute frame. You can decorate the sides up. Like I said, you can put flowers around here. Anything that you want. You can just keep working on these. But I think they're cute. I actually made some one year, and then I staggered them. I put like that, and then I put another one down here and staggered them on my wall, and everybody just thought they were real picture frames, but they're just made out of cardstock. Alright guys, that is it on this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and Macon, I hope this is what you were looking for. I do have one other frame that I can show you. Let's see. Well, we can put it in this one. This one video so far is not too long, so let's put another picture frame in this one. Let's just put this together really quick. I don't think it'll take me but a minute. Now I've already cut my pieces. I have a piece here that is 6 by 6, and this is just chipboard. It's just white chipboard, that's all it is. And then I have a piece of cardstock that is cut 8 by 8. And we're going to put this down. I'm just going to glue it in place. Just like we were making a book or something, only we're going to make a frame out of this. This frame is a lot more sturdy, but the other one will work. I'm just going to center it as best I can. I'm not going to do a lot of measuring on this one because this is just for you to see how these are made. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and do our scoring on the edges like we always do when we're covering chipboard. Okay. And then I'm going to cut away my corners like I do. All of this is the same thing that we do when we make little albums. Alright, we're just going to break those fibers down so that will fold over. And then I'm just going to use my art glitter glue on this so it'll be a little bit quicker, hopefully. We're going to fold that up and press it down. Make sure that your edge is turned in here. Fold that up and press it down. Same thing over here. Make sure that this little edge is rolled in, and then just fold that over. Now you can take a little bit more time with yours than I am. I'm just trying to show you how this is going to go together. I got glue on my arm. Alright, and then we're going to fold this one over. These can be used for lots of different things. Okay, so we have that covered. Now I'm going to leave the back like it is for a minute. You can go ahead and cover that back too. Now I've gone ahead and cut some chipboard pieces, and I have covered them with some pattern paper. Now these pieces, the long pieces, are cut at 1 inch by 6 inches. And then the short ones are cut at 1 inch by 4 inches. So what we're going to do, I'll show you how I'm laying those down in just a moment. We've got one more to cover, and I'm going to show you how we cover this. This is just some of that pattern paper that I've had in my stash from the new Prima collection. So this piece is 1 inch by 6 inches because I want a 1 inch wide frame. And I'm just going to put it somewhere near the center and about like that, leaving a little bit on the end to fold up. Again, all we're doing is covering chipboard here. Just going to leave a little bit on this end. I'm not even going to measure it and cut it with the trimmer. Then I'm just going to go and fold the edges just to break down that fiber a little bit so that when I start folding those over, it'll fold without any trouble. Now you're just going to cut away your corners, same way we do on any other piece of chipboard. Or any other piece of paper that's covering the chipboard, I should say. So that's what we have right there. Make sure, I don't think I have that glued down well. Let me put a little glue up under there. And then I'll start at the ends and I just fold those up like that. Just fold it up. Then I go to one side and I put the adhesive on there. And I just kind of roll it and make sure that it rolls up around that chipboard. And then go to the other side, put your adhesive. Again, I just roll it over. And then press it down with your bone folder. Just like that. And then I go ahead and I check the ends to make sure that they look good. They do. Okay, so that is all of our chipboard covered. And now I'll show you how we're going to put this together. So we're going to need a long piece here, a long piece here, so we're going to glue those down. Whoops, I put my pen back in my glue. All right, let's glue these down. And you could use double-sided adhesive on this. I'm just going to do art glitter glue to make it a little bit quicker. So glue it right at the edge of your bottom piece there. Put it right there. Okay, we're going to glue this one on this side. These little frames we made actually, I think in our Bible school one year. You know, these are kind of like the ones they make with the popsicle sticks. Only you're making it with chipboard and you're cutting your own little popsicle sticks. Okay, we've got one there and one there. Now down here we're going to put a short piece. Okay, so we've got that piece glued in there. And now you're going to take a long piece and you're going to put one up here and one down here. Like that. And then you're going to put these two short pieces in here to fill that up. Let's see if we can get these in there. Now it looks like I've got a little piece of chipboard that's a little bit too short on the top here. But so before you glue your chipboard down and before you put your covers on your chipboard, go ahead and measure them on your piece so that you make sure that you get them correct. I'm going to go with this because I don't think it's really going to make that much difference. But that right there is how we're going to glue it together. So I'm going to start with my side pieces and glue those down first, I think. Then we're going to glue this bottom one on. And this piece is going to need to go right up against those two there. So I'm going to glue that in place. Okay. And then this one is going to go straight across like that. Let's see if I can hold that up. So that you still have that room in there where you can slide your photo down in. So you didn't put another one, a little short one here. You're just going to put that one across, and then you can still slide your photo down in there. So let's go ahead and glue that one just on the ends. Just at the ends. And like I said, this little piece is a little bit short on each end, but I'm going to leave it. I can still use it. Doesn't have to be exactly, but just make sure you measure your chipboard really well. It looks like I didn't measure mine as well as I should have. There we go. So you can slide your photo down in there. Let me grab something. Let's just pretend this is our photo. And this should hold a 4x4, I do believe. So you can slide your photo down in there. Now, I'll tell you another thing. Before you put these second pieces on, you could put a piece of acetate down, glue that on here first, and then put these top ones on, and then you have a picture frame that is covered. So you would take a piece of acetate before you glued any of these on, just after you put your first layer down. Put your acetate on there like that, you know, trim it out. And then put these on top of the acetate, and you have a picture frame that has the acetate in it. So that whatever you put in this frame, it's not going to get dirty. Alright guys, that is it for our picture frames. I hope this helped someone. And like I said, before you cover your chipboard, make sure you measure and get your correct measurements on there. I got mine a little bit off. Like I said, I'm still going to use it because I don't think it's really noticeable. But just measure your chipboard pieces. These long ones should be the same length and width as your chipboard. And then these just need to be long enough to fill in from one side to the other. Okay? All right, that is it for our tutorial on our frames. I hope this helped you. If it did, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to click that little bell when that bell pops up so that you'll be notified when we put up a new video. We will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.